Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, everybody in between. Rejoice, it is I, Ptah Shakur, back again from my little hiatus to share some wonderful knowledge with you all. I'm going to do a little sound check. Ooh, I'm sounding good, I'm looking good, smelling good. I thank you all for being with me at this particular time. As you can see on the bottom of this header there, speaks about the ABCs of breath work. So I'm going to go into that in a very, very short time. However, I'm going to go ahead and do an intro that I normally do. This particular broadcast is not designated for a live call-in program. If you notice, I took the number down off of there. However, if you want to call in, you get a little conversation going. But this is particularly for the curriculum that I am actually producing for children and for adults as well. So we're going to get a little taste of this, the ABCs of breath work. But like always, Grand Rising, ladies and gentlemen, I know my place in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. I'm in the upper room. God is, God is, God is. I, Ptah Shakur, I pledge to always look for the best in each and every opportunity and each and every one, especially starting with myself. I come from love. I am love. And I choose to look at the world through the lens of love. I commit myself to choosing the upper room towards vibrating at the highest level possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am free, I am free, I am free. Behold, I make all things new. And so, for those that don't know, these are things called affirmations. And you feel free to take that one, utilize parts of it if you like, add a part of it as well. It's very, very important that whatever you say I am, whatever you put behind that I am, is what you actually placed out in the universe for you to receive back. It's actually called karma in some cultures. However, scientifically, it's your torrential field. Yes, you have a torus field of energy that surrounds you, and that actually brings to you whatever you are seeking to experience. And so, if you're looking for more information, please go see the plethora of videos that I have on YouTube there at Ptah Shakur YouTube. As well as you can check me out on TikTok, Facebook, and soon to be Patreon. Don't forget the YouTube channel. Shout out to all my YouTube subscribers out there. Remember, we are the new founding fathers of this particular creation. So let your light shine. Let that love just embrace everyone. Understand that you are a divine being. Just like it was taught in all the scriptures and the scrolls, you are not a drop of the ocean. You are an ocean and a drop. You are a fractal key component of the creator, and don't think of yourself anything less than that. However, we're going to stay on topic and stay on point for this particular program, which is called the ABCs of breathwork. Before I go into all that, you got to understand the benefit of breathwork. And so when I go to different organizations and share the importance of breathwork, I normally get the same type of response from individuals. Like breathing, I've been breathing since I've been alive. I know how to breathe. So the question is, really, do you? So the benefits of breathwork, breathwork offers benefits for the health and well-being of the body and the mind. The benefits of breathwork are often noticed very quickly. Taking slower, deeper, and more regulated breaths can help a person feel relaxed, calm, with a clearer mind. It's just some key benefits, and where we'll go through a few breathing procedures. We're going to the 448s, which I'm a key advocate of, and a few other nasal breathing techniques as well. So the key benefits of breath work, for one, like I said, it calms the nervous system. This is one of the first benefits of breath work a student may notice. This will be especially profound if anybody's been experiencing stress, worry, anxiety, which, be honest, is really becoming rampant in the society, particularly if you're living here in the hells of North America. You see the exciting things that are taking place across the world and also at your doorsteps as well. So this is for you. If you have worry and anxiety and things of that nature, if you watch any bit of media and things that are being kind of force-fed down our throats right now, this is for you. So, regulated breathing sends a signal to the brain that we are safe. We're going to go into the parasympathetic system as well as the sympathetic system as well. So it allows our stress hormones to settle, bringing our hormones into a more balance. It allows our digestive system to fire up, relieving digestive issues and delivering nutrition to our bodies, and can help lower blood pressure over time. It relieves brain fog. So if you still experience a little bit of that COVID COVID brain fog, and we with some people experience that for a very, very extended period of time. Take note to this. Breath work can leave a person feeling as though they're thinking clearer. This is not only because the nervous system has switched, which activates the areas of the brain that allows for clearer thinking. It is also because the increased oxygen supply to the brain. Stressful or worrying thoughts create short patterns of breathing, which lower the oxygen delivery systems to our brain. And so by slowing your breath down, being more thought-oriented with your breathing, and when you add a little bit of visualization to that as well, it can have tremendous effect. And just a little quick side note, for those that don't know too much about visualizations, let me share this quick note that I've said before on this particular program. When the Native Americans have, in the past, routinely made it rain for the settlers or that came in to discover them, so to speak. And so the question was, how did the Native Americans continually make it rain to bring nourishment to their bodies and through the growing of their crops and things of that nature? How they did that? They did not pray to a particular god. They did not call on anyone else. Instead, what they did is they danced around in the hard clay soil and visualized. Imagine the power of your imagination is something of wonders. And so through the power of their imagination and their belief system, they was able to actually consciously make it rain. So with the breath work and visualizing, I'm going to do a quick visualizing cue. So please stay tuned. This is only an hour long, maybe an hour long video. And at the very end, I'll go through different type of visualizations that you could use to actually enhance with this breathing technique to actually bring you more peace and more clearer thinking. It also increases your anti-inflammatory response. It increases your immunity. Breathwork has been shown to because your immune system is not required to fight off any immediate threats. The system of the body is activated and is charged with fighting off these immediate threats. And so when you actually breathing more oxygen, you bring in that cleansing oxygen, you expel these particular toxins, making it easier on your immune system, increases your lung capacity. For physical performance, all my athletes out there, if you want to, and I actually utilize this, if you actually can look at me, I look a little more trimmer and a little more put together by taking these breathing techniques while I'm working out and when I'm actually running on the treadmill and things of that nature, focusing on your breath, getting rid of that carbon dioxide. We always have in our brain that we have to breathe in. You got to understand this is a whole balanced system. So getting that carbon out of your muscles. Remember, your muscles actually get tired when you start to have the accumulation of that carbon. So make sure you push that carbon out. Make sure you're utilizing your diaphragm and actually pushing that out. It does help with your sports, all my sports people out there. And plus, breath work. And this is for a little bit, in other classes, we're going to go into how it connects all three of your particular bodies. In the yogic philosophy, it's said that we have three bodies: the physical body. This is the body that we can touch, see. You also have an astral body. This is our energetic body, and the spiritual or wisdom body. So we have those three parts: your physical body, your astral body, which is your energetic body, and you also have your spiritual wisdom body. And this is a body that is outside of space and time. And it's said the breaths that I teach actually connect all forms of those different parts. And yes, I did say that. I did say that you have a portion of you that exists beyond the limits of time. And this is the larger part of yourself, what some people call your higher self. And so when you lay yourself down to sleep, remember, energy always transforms. You are always in the spirit realm. You have never left the spirit realm. We're actually partially in a physical experience matrix, but we've never left the spiritual component. And so by relaxing, going into meditative states, or those times right before you fall asleep and those times right as you're awakening, you can actually utilize those times to learn those connections with your astral body, your higher self, and actually make an impact on this life. And so those are other type of teachings that I go to on the YouTube channel. So you please go ahead and check that one. But we're going to stay on focus here. So the benefits of nasal breathing. This is one thing when I speak to youth as well. I tell them the nose is for breathing and the mouth is for eating. During our sojourn in this society, we actually do a lot of things backwards. And so this is the wonderful time that we're living in right now, where that Christ consciousness and the enlightenment is rising. So it's time for this information to be presented to everyone, to give them a chance to actually choose what particular timeline you want to move into, either the new heaven and the new or the new world order. But it's all up to you. It's so beautiful. We have a choice. So, with the nasal breathing, what you want to make sure that you understand is that a large percentage of the breathwork practices are done through inhaling through the nose. There is a great benefits to breathing through the nose, which include nasal breathing warms and moisturizes the incoming air, and this is particularly beneficial as it doesn't dry out the sensitive lung cells that you have inside of your body, which need to remain wet. So if you have respiratory situations and things of that nature, please be mindful of that as trying to implement the nasal breathing. It might sound easy. I'd speak to so many people and say, like I said, it's the conversation about breathing. I've been breathing all my life. Okay, we're going to put that to the test with a very short little breathing exercise that I'll be going through later on. But the nasal breathing is very, very instrumental to make sure that your lung cells remain moist and so they can operate efficiently. The nose also filters out the air before it enters into the body, catching dirt, dust, and bacteria. Nasal breathing keeps air in your lungs longer than mouth breathing. Nasal breathing provides up to 20% more oxygen into your bloodstream. And last but not least, the nasal breathing can also stimulate your vagus nerve, which also helps you feel more relaxed, more calm. And this is a really great note. For all my people out there that want to understand how important breathing is, the average person, we all have different breathing rates. And while I'm on the topic of as far as the nasal breathing, we can just take a moment right now. Which nostril are you breathing out of right now? I get it. Some people say, I'm breathing out of both. Really? Will you slow yourself down enough to find out? I'll pause for a couple seconds if you like. To find out, calm yourself down and to listen to your body and to really notice the subtle difference of which nasal you're breathing out. You can cheat if you want to. You can go ahead and put a glass or paper or feather or something and understand that when you breathe through your right nostril, that actually brings in a calming effect. And then you're breathing through your left nostril, that's actually bringing more excitement, actually charges your body up to actually go into some physical experiences. So when we breathe normally and naturally, when there's no stress around, when you're just, like I said, waking up into your wakeful state, where there's no stress, anxiety, or manipulation of the breath, our breath rates are normally as follows. You normally inhale 1 to 1.5 seconds. You have a short pause of cessation in your breath, which is between 1 to 2 seconds. And then you exhale for 1.5 to 2 seconds. And then a short 1 to 2 second pause. And then, of course, you repeat the cycle again and again. Each breath contains 500 to 600 milliliters of air. This is known as the tidal volume or depth of inhalation. A person's breath rate will change throughout their life. For instance, if you're a baby, you will breathe between 35 and 58 times per minute. As a toddler, you will breathe between 15 to 22 times per minute. As an adolescent, you will breathe between 12 to 16 times per minute. And as an adult, you will breathe between 10 to 14 times per minute. Now, once you get into more of the advanced levels of breathing, well, like I said, you're doing the 4-4-8s. So that's just one cycle. So if you add 4 plus 4 plus 8, that's 16. So 16, let's say 15. You can get 4 complete breaths per minute. So we're speaking about, as a baby, 35 to 58, as a toddler, 15 to 22, an adolescent, 12 to 16, as an adult, 10 to 14 per minute. But you get to a particular state where you're down to about 4 breaths per minute. You experience wonderful experiences, shall I say. We'll go into that at another time. Like I said, this is a 101 basis for anybody that is looking forward to the more advanced versions. I will have those shortly on my Patreon page and actually putting it together for a nice little curriculum. But moving on and grooving on, faster heart rate will create a quicker breathing, as we know. And also, as a little quick side note, if those that are actually caught up in the system, just stop for about 2 minutes a day and just pay attention to your breathing pattern. I know it's very, very difficult because some of us have a stand on your feet 5-6 hours a day. You're working and you're catching the bus and you're going, or you're traveling to your other part-time job. And when you're off your part-time job, you're coming home and you're providing for your families. And at the end of the day, even when you're turning the TV off, or even when your day is over and you have a chance, your body finally has a chance to say, okay, let's catch up. We've been missing out on a lot of crucial oxygen during this particular this day. Where's our oxygen coming from? Where's the relief so our cells can actually operate properly? Finally, the individual is home. This is our time to get the breathing going and get that oxygen. But oh no, we have different distractions on those TV screens or tablets or phones and things of that nature, which also sends a lot of fear-based, anxiety-based programming to us. So hence our bodies are constantly in a state of hyperness where we never allow ourselves to get oxygen to our body. And I know this is a societal thing. However, we have to be in this world and not of it. If you notice, even some of the entertainment that we partake in, and not going to spas or going out into nature or doing things that are therapeutic and comforting to the body. Instead, we're watching horror movies. Horror movies, things that are constantly scare us, and this is our form of entertainment. And so when we come off of this job and our part-time job, and we're taking care of our children and our youth, and we're worrying about the bills and all these things going on in the world, and so people say, we want to relax. Take some stress out, as they say. And then we go to watch these different movies that cause our bodies to just even become even more operating out of its optimalness. And then we're wondering why we die so early. Then we switch to the pharmaceuticals and things like that. But I'm not going to go down that street right now. You can go to Ptah Shakur on YouTube and see the plethora of videos that I already put it on that particular topic. But a faster heart rate will create quicker breathing. These guides are an average of person's breaths. You will find that students' resting breaths can vary very greatly from person to person. A good experiment to do is set a timer for 1 minute. I'm asking you 1 minute of your time. How many minutes have already escaped by while you was on TikTok? You may have already switched off of this particular video. That's fine. This is going into the archives, folks. So what I'm asking for 1 minute, set aside 1 minute for your body, not for me, for your body's sake. And do this. I'm asking you to breathe normally for 1 minute and just count your breaths. I know it might even be difficult to even count because you got so many different worries going on. For 1 minute, put all of those worries aside. And I will go to a nice visualization. If everybody's really nice and listening, I go through a visualization we can do to clear that fog from your mind so you can focus even on counting your breaths. I got you covered. So for what? 1 inhale plus 1 exhale equals 1 breath. So once you count that, you inhale, succession, exhale, count that as 1. So when you stop the timer, please notate, keep in your mind, write it down on a piece of paper, how many breaths you took. It's very, very interesting to see the different varying rates of individuals. And so definitely want to check that out. But we're going to go into some of the breathing styles. Now, one of the main ideas, and this goes into, for like I said, for those who are athletes, which is really, really important. I actually picked up a really wonderful book dealt about the Native Americans and how they used to do, like, you talking about a marathon. They used to do mega marathons. They used to run from one territory to another when you're dealing out in like the Midwest or in I believe it was the Hopi Indians. This is the individual that actually wrote this book, and they were sharing the benefits of nose breathing. In order to have that endurance, if you're catching, you got to catch prey or catch not prey. You got to catch food in order to eat. You got to have an amazing stamina to keep that up. So definitely the nose breathing is very, very crucial for that. But besides that, you have other styles of breathing as well. Here's 4 different types of breathing. One is this is our basic normal pattern. It occurs day to day while we're at rest. It doesn't require any cognitive or conscious thought. There's also, we have costal breathing. This is shallow breathing, which is very common these days. Costal breathing requires the intercostal muscles to contract. The intercostal muscles are muscles between your ribs and your rib cage to move and expand as you breathe. During costal breathing, the diaphragm hardly moves. This is a style of breathing that also occurs during poor posture, anxiety, and stress. And that's one of the crucial things we're going to get into as well, is how your posture actually affects your breathing as well. Number 3 is your diaphragmic breathing. The diaphragmic breathing, or taking deep belly breaths, as they say. And you see a lot of Tibetan disciplines. They get that thing kind of flipping back and forth consciously. And like everything, if you put conscious thought to that using hypnotic rhythm, everything will begin to get easier and easier. Yes, hypnotic rhythm is actually set up in the universal construct. That's why things get easier and easier as it goes. That's the scientific name for it. So as you begin to do it, it may be difficult. You may have to put conscious thought. You may have to put your mind to bed. You might have to calm that monkey mind down just to focus on these particular things. But reach out to me at Ptah Shakur at Gmail, TikTok, Facebook. I would definitely love to reach out to you and assist. So during this belly breath, or belly breathing, we say take deep breaths into the belly. It isn't that air is actually entering our belly. In order for the diaphragm to contract, we need to flatten and move it downward. In order for this to happen, the belly needs to be pushed out to make space for the diaphragm to lower. So when we're teaching children to breathe deeply, we tell them to visualize their belly as a balloon. Like I said, visualization and breath work is one and the same. Last but not least is the hyperpneme breathing. This is breathing in more air than you normally do. This is your body's response to needing more oxygen. You find yourself yawning all the time. That's your body calling for oxygen. And believe it or not, if you are a person and while you're speaking to someone and they're yawning in your presence, do not be offended. Actually, you should be encouraged. When people yawn in your presence, that just means that they're calling more oxygen to their body to allow their brain to really receive what it is that you're sharing. So you might come off as bored. This person's boring. That's the thing that we normally would say. However, that's not true. When people do yawn, they're calling for oxygen so they can pay attention more to what you're sharing. And based off the level of truth that you're sharing with them, it might put them so at ease. They might even try to nod off a little bit, because the truth does have that ability. Once you slide the truth in it, it's just so at one with an individual's nature. It's almost like laying on the beach and you have small waves kind of rock you kind of sleep. That's how you know that you are really a conscious content creator, when you're able to cause that type of feeling within another individual. However, this style of breathing will also happen with certain types of breath work. So we're going to kind of go into that. But for the good stuff, we're going to go into the first, and if you notice behind me, it kind of speaks a little bit about, and I know the screen is kind of switched up a little bit. I'm going to wait. There's a delay. Take this time right now to find out which nostril you're breathing out of. Well, I'll try to orient myself. Oh, here we go. So, we have a little like Vanna White here. The parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated. It slows our heartbeat down. It stimulates digestion. It stimulates the activity of our intestines and saliva. Allows the body to rest and digest. We essentially feel good and nourished when the body is into this particular state. It's not the state of an itis as much, but but this is definitely a more relaxed state. If our life is not in danger, we want to be in this state as our dominant state. You want to reside, this is where you want to be. And we do have individuals, like I said, that want to make sure your dominant state is not this dominant state, but we want to make sure you're in this. Calmness is power. So with that calmness, it allows you to look at yourself in a better light. It allows you to look at your reflections outside of you. Yes, your reflections, your fellow human beings that are walking around in physical flesh, like strangers, but they're really an aspect of you. So you be able to relate to the aspects of you in a more kinder, gentler way when you're in this parish. You see, I brought my voice down a little bit. Quiet storm. Brings you into a nice calm. This is the zone that you want to be in when it comes to manifesting. Like I shared before, you are a torrential field of energy, and when you want to pull in whatever it is that you have and want to experience into your life, you want to make sure you're in this mode. If you're in the other mode, you're operating in force. In this mode, you're operating in power. David Hawkins, check that book out. Very, very powerful. However, moving on, homeostasis comes from the Greek word same or steady. When we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, it is activated and allows our body to maintain the homeostasis in our bodies, like I said, to perform optimally. As stressors or perceived stressors, or any type of stimulus that upsets or threatens our homeostatic process, that's when we find ourselves out of whack and we find ourselves pulling in things into our reality that we do not want. The yoga, go ahead and there's plenty of yoga classes. Go ahead and go to DuckDuckGo or any type of search engine, and I'm pretty sure you'll find individuals that share that particular aspect. I may go into that at some point in time, but yoga, mindfulness, and meditation. Mindfulness is you don't have, it's nothing special you have to do. I also answer questions. People send them to me in Gmail and things of that nature. Is how to meditate properly and what is mindfulness. Mindfulness is shutting everything outside yourself. Understand, like what Jesus said, the divinity, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So you don't need anything else outside yourself. You don't need any book. You don't need any guru. You don't even need me. You don't need anyone. However, to find all the answers is to go deep within. And this is what Ptah Shakur, my job is, that my duty that I put out is to help individuals connect back with themselves. And so when you do connect back with that mindfulness, and then you're adding in the meditation and the visualization that we're going to go into in about 10 minutes, stay tuned, folks. These wonderful practices can signal to our nervous system that we are safe and all is well. Deep breathing and slow movements to our brain and body that we are safe will trigger this parasympathetic nervous system and allow our body to be used, and allows our body to use its resources to create healthy well-being in states of inner healing. And trust, we all need a little bit of inner healing right now as we go through these changes of time. It's bringing a lot of lower emotions up. Remember, change is the most unwanted thing in creation, and we're going through tremendous change. And so with that change, if we're not understanding it properly, our bodies, we distort it, and we put ourselves through tremendous stress, anxiety, suffering, and things of that nature that are needless. We are doing it to ourselves. We have no one to blame but ourselves. Every tub sits on its own bottom. So it is very important to know that there's 3 types of breath work, and each will have different effects on the nervous system. One is called calming. These practices will calm and settle your nervous system, leaving you feel relaxed and peaceful. That's one, for those paying attention at home. Number 2 is your balanced breathing. These practices are designed to bring balance to the system of the body on both a physical and energetic level. For instance, these practices are said to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain on a physical level and to balance the solar and the lunar energies of the body. And then last but not least is the exciting breath that we can go into. These are breaths that are pretty much focused to amp you up, excite you, bring energy to your body in order for you to accomplish what it is that you seek to do out in this world. Like I said, all my young athletes out there, you want to make sure that you're utilizing this. This is why they have things like smelling salts. Once you get to like professional levels of sports and things of that nature, it's very, very important they use the smelling salts to introduce that oxygen to your body to give you an extra boost. And so we're just going to go into one style of breathing. We're going to do some before I go into that, I'm going to the sympathetic system. So we talked about the parasympathetic nervous system. This is called the sympathetic nervous system. This is the system that we want to avoid as much as humanly possible, and the enemies of truth want to make sure that you're in permanently. You, your children, everybody you know, they want you in this box because we're easily controllable when we're in this. And this sympathetic nervous system is responsible for amping you up or triggering the fight or flight response. When dangerous, stressful situations are perceived, the sympathetic nervous system sends signals to the adrenal glands, which we're going to go into a little bit later on. The pupils will dilate, heart rate will increase, the body will release glucose from storage, and this goes into your bloodstream, and that glucose will be then used for energy for your muscles and your organs. The vessels of your lungs dilate to create an oxygen uptake, and the blood is directed away from your digestive organs and redirected to your extremities to help you fight or flight. You got to understand that, like I said this numerous times, you are not just one being. For the sake of this conversation, say you're 2 beings. You have your spirit, and then you have your physical body. Your physical body is a technology of intelligence that is a wonder. Understand this, you really, most times, you're not breathing. Your body is breathing for you. You're not digesting your food. Your body is digesting it for you. And most times, we even find ourselves going through our day-to-day lives, and where am I driving to? You can sleepwalk. You can put yourself on automatic. Your body will automatically do certain things for you. However, now is the time to actually utilize your mind, bring your mind into that, bring your co-creator, bring the co-pilot back down, the essence of divinity which you are in, and actually direct your life and say, okay, I got it from here. Take reins of the control, and you will have a true, more intentional, happy, successful life by bringing in the positive karma into your life. And the key thing with that, like I said, even about your digestive system, when you're constantly in this mode, you're because of our bodies, the way that we was initially designed, with that fight or flight, if you're walking I would say like this, if you're walking in the woods, prehistoric man, barefoot, you're walking naked in the woods or whatever, and you're hearing a twig snap, immediately, you don't have time to say, what was that? Where did it come from? What's over there? Could have been a bear. Maybe it's a snake. Maybe it's a tiger. I don't know. We don't have time to run through all the different possibilities in our belief system of what we think it is, our indoctrination, our belief systems, and then eventually we get a printout and say, okay, we need to run. No. The technology of what your body is and how tremendous your body is, automatically, it'll start going before you even ascertain all the different facts and figures going on. Your body will go into that particular mode. So you got to respect it. Our bodies have been pretty much our protectors in that way when we were living in survival mode. So we had to operate in it. Now we're living in a society, most of us are living in a safe society where we don't have to worry about predators and things of that nature, where it allows us to be more thought-oriented human beings instead of just humans. Anyway, back to what I was saying here. So as far as your pupils will dilate, your blood is directed away from your digestive organs and redirected to your extremities, your legs, your arms, your feet, your calves, and things of that nature to give you tremendous energy for what you need to do. Once the immediate or acute danger has passed, your adrenaline drops, but cortisol is released. It keeps the safe response on guard, but not on full motion. So just because your adrenaline drops, you're still on alert. And a lot of us are all high alert. An individual experience PTSD and things of that nature. You know, you're constantly your muscles are sore or starting to tighten up. And remember, constipation of energy of any sort brings in disharmony, whether it be constipation of your digestive system, your blood system, your breathing. We want to make sure that everything's flowing properly. By staying constantly on, that is not a balancing way, and therefore your body will shut down and you will find health issues, very shortened lifespan, things of that nature. So, however, this incredible system is designed to keep you safe from danger, but in our modern world, the danger is more psychological and is more often a condition of our minds, thoughts, and perceptions, and is enough to switch your body back into that positive, like I said, using thought, using your perception, and using knowledge about what's going on, you can actually transfer to that parasympathetic system, which, like I said, you want to be in order for you to manifest what it is you truly want from life. But being in this particular state of constantly being turned on, I know I can harken back to the times of back in the War on Terror. We had different levels. You had a level red. It was different terrorist level, and so they would go back and forth with that level, and you know, things of that nature, and raise the level and raise the. They have a doomsday clock. What is that? Somebody tell me, why do we need a doomsday clock? Who knows the doomsday is coming? Like, why are you? We're under so much control. I just stick to that. Check the Ptah Shakur. I don't have my Ptah Shakur. I keep spelling the bottom. Ptah Shakur. Go to YouTube. Not now, but later. Subscribe, like, share this information with people you love. This is truly our time. It's a wonderful time to be alive. So, anyways, while this stress response system is amazing, when constantly switched on, it uses up all of our internal resources, leaving us depleted, unhealthy in body and our mind, tired. I'm tired of being tired. You have somebody like that that's just always tired. How you doing? I'm tired. Because being always on and always amped up and always consuming fear-based or anxiety type of media, whether it be from print, whether it be from screens, that will constantly keep your energy constantly just sending out where you won't be able to harness it and actually utilize it to bring physical things into your life. So, just as a thought is powerful enough to switch the body's stress response, it is also powerful enough to switch it. So your mind, your thoughts are very, very crucial. Get your minds together, folks. And so I'm going to go into a little quick, which is called the 448. 448 for everybody who's listening right now. And like I said, this is definitely a curriculum that's going to be utilized, so you can go ahead and record this, refer back to that. First, what you want to do is wherever you're at, hopefully you're not driving. What you want to do is you want to close your eyes. You understand that when you close your eyes, you're actually shutting off one of your key senses that interpret the energy that's around you. By doing that, you shut off that portion that funnels millions of bits of information per second, which we then decide to keep her safe. But by doing that, you just eliminate that whole system. And so what I would like to do, and I share with people to do before getting to your breathing, just do 2 quick breaths. You want to start by breathing in to your mouth for 2 seconds, and then continue breathing through your nasal for the final 2 seconds. So you're going to start breathing through your mouth, and then you're going to finish through your nose. So it's like a partial breath. One, then breathe, and then you're going to breathe out through your nose. And you want to do that twice. And you can utilize that while you're exercising as well. It kind of puts you in a certain mindset. And what it does is it drops your jaw down. Because you notice we're tensed up. And so even when you're going through this process of doing the breathing, I see people do it, breathing, and their jaws are so tight. You got energy just stressed up there. But when you start to breathe through your mouth and continue to your nose, you'll find that your mouth might even just open up. And you definitely want to do the nasal breathing. Like I said, nose is for breathing, mouth is for eating. And so what you want to do is expand through your nose all of the oxygen that you have. And you want to breathe in to the count of 4. So for this brief, we're going to do this like 3 times. And then I'm going to the visualizations, and I'm going to have to see you all next week. The time is running out low here. So you want to breathe in. You want to breathe in to the count of 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to hold. Now, I'll get into that another time. So breathe into the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hold to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out to the count of 8. And when you do this, you may want to do this with your mouth if you're just starting out. You want to breathe out of your mouth. Just envision a straw. Imagine you have a straw in your mouth and a stream of air is slowly. Don't just blow it out. You want to slowly imagine you got like a basketball or something. You stab on the side and just so. Breathe into the count of 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out to the count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do that again. Breathe in to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you've done that, you may understand that your shoulders might already droop. Your neck might be getting a little bit looser. Your body feel a little bit looser. Do a little bit of dancing now. And it brings in that more relaxed state. And that was only 3 times. And so as you do more of that, and we're just going to stick to that, you do the 4, 4, 8s. And at the same time, I would say do that you can set a timer if you like. Do that for about 2 minutes. Once you do that for 2 minutes, then you understand that your body will start to pick up. So we got it from here. Like I said, your body is a wonderful technology. But you, mind over matter, you tell your body what to do. So as you consciously, intentionally do this type of breathing, your body will take over, and as you do that, then you can take that aspect and use into what I call visualizations. So when your body's starting to take over, you want to clear your mind out. And by the greatest way that I've deduced how to clear your mind out is to imagine a black screen, a black room, a black board, a black curtain, something that is black. Or, if that is difficult, if your mind is trying to tell you it's difficult, say, hey, I have an alternative. Imagine a white screen, a white board, a white curtain, a white fabric. And as you do that, in the room of the Matrix, actually that's going to be one of my next designs. I'm going to have an all-white room, kind of like in the Matrix. And so by focusing on that, and trust, before I get into what you will experience, these are a few pitfalls that may pop up. One of the things while you're in this particular state, you'll have a thought come to your mind and say, oh, what am I going to make for dinner? Oh man, I got a meeting going on. You'll have a plethora of thoughts that are going to be introduced while you're doing this breathing method and while you're doing this visualization. Be easy on yourself, people. Love yourself. Love that sympathetic system. And understand that it's a part of you since you're designed that wants to keep you safe. So that same part that wants to keep you safe sometimes can be quite a bother. Where it constantly wants to send things that may be so important for your survival. However, it's how you respond to that. You don't want to respond and say, oh, I can't do this right. Oh man, I'm trying to imagine a white wall or a blackboard like Ptah shared, and I keep thinking about what I gotta do, and it's just distracting me, and I'm just terrible what I'm doing. Do not take, please, 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 be easy on yourself. And this is one of the visualizations that a wise person shared with me. Imagine you're on a desolate road. Think somewhere in the Arizona, Four Corners type of area. There's nothing around. If you get stuck out there, you're in trouble. So you're sitting in this desolate area, and there's a road right in front of you, a 2-lane road. And you imagine there's no cars on that road. But every now and then, here comes a truck. That thought represents that truck. And it's there. It's okay. Thank you, thought. Thank you. All right, let's go back to what I was doing. Then you might have another car come up. You might have a lawnmower. You might have a myriad of different things. And incorporate that in your meditation. Incorporate that into your healing. Understanding that that's part of it. It's not going to take you off of it, not unless you want to go off of it. But you understand that, hey, my monkey mind, the mind that is actually producing these thoughts, is much like a cute little puppy. We all love puppies, don't we? Puppies are kittens. I'm on the side. I don't know. I'm more of a kitten guy myself. Don't judge me. However, just understand, even in that aspect, we all have kittens or puppies. They're so cute and adorable, but every now and then they do something that's so aggravating. Same idea. If you could see your mind as a little puppy, thank you for bringing that thought to my mind. However, that's not needed right now. And if you start to interact with your body in that particular method, you will find that those thoughts will be less intrusive, will be less distractive. You'll have less occurrence of them as well by just acknowledging those thoughts. Oh, yes, I have to make some sandwiches tomorrow. That's great. All right. Are you done? All right, thank you. All right, let me go back. So that's very, very crucial that understand that everybody, no matter how adept, how experienced you are, we all have to deal with those same type of distractions, because that distraction is part of us that just simply wants the best for you. Just think of like an overbearing parent. They want the best of you, but sometimes they can get, can you leave me alone? But you'll suffer through it. But like I said, once that is over, then you start to experience tremendous connectivity with one another, connection with your soul, divine experience start happening, and trust and believe this is the time. This is the time that was written about in all the scriptures and the scrolls, which said, behold, I see a new heaven and a new earth, for the old earth is fallen away. So this is a time where Jesus said, the greater work shall ye do. The Christ consciousness is here. And so in order to access and utilize this particular energy, we must remain in this parasympathetic mode. Step into your peace. You're not going to find it anywhere around. You have to step back. Clothe yourself like a little tent. Put it over your head. Put your hood. Cover yourself with a blanket. You are your own peace. Go within to find your peace. And that's the way that you're going to experience the optimalness of this time. Like I said, this is the great and dreadful day of the Lord. It's great if you understand what's going on, and it's dreadful if you do not. So once you get your breathing started for a few minutes, your body using hypnotic rhythm will start to help you out. Then, okay, that's the body. Now the mind. Now the mind, once you start to have those different thoughts that's trying to distract you and take you away to different realms, thank you, not today. Once you do that, you are cooking with grease now. And as you do that, then, like I said, you'll start to really understand the divinity and the beautiful things that are going on right now. And so the last part is the visualization, what's called mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically being in the moment. The past does not exist and the future is not here. The power of now and the power of presence. You are presence. Regardless of what you have going on in your life, regardless of, we all fall short of eyes of God. We are not perfect. We're not designed to be perfect. Just take a look in the mirror. One part of yourself is not similar to the other part of yourself. So be easy on yourself. Understand that you are a divine being that is getting back to understanding exactly who you are. And calming yourself down, being present in your body. So while you have your eyes closed, Wanted another way to kind of take it a little bit deeper, and this is from my personal files, and you can take this as well. Visualize your imagination. I already told you about the power of your imagination. So when you want to visualize, just visualize a scene. The scene is this. You're on a grassy field. Only one tree exists in this, well, however your eyes, you can take head to the right, head to the left, look back if you like. No other trees exist. Grassy plain, beautiful sky, maybe some mountains in the back, but you're completely alone. And right there in front of you stands a tree. You pick how tall. Let's just say 40 feet. And in between you and that tree is actually a small lake. How big of a lake? Say the size of a home. From front door to back door. That's the size of this lake. And the tree sits on the other side of that. And you're standing directly across from this tree. Power of your imagination. And what I want you to do is look into that water and see if you can see the reflections of the branches of the tree in the water. I'll wait. Not too long, but I'll wait. Next time I'll be seated down and I'll go into this with you. So, to recap, you're in a grassy plain, small lake in front of you, body of water, tree in the front. If you're visualizing, you're trying to imagine what this tree branches will look being reflected from underneath. And if that water is rippled, that's the condition of your mind. That shows you're not at peace. Oh, what does that mean? I need to do some more breathing. So as you start to relax more and more, it may take a few days, may take a week, may take a month. Please reach out to me if you're able to reach this particular level. And that level is when you're able to see the reflection of these branches in that particular water. That's when you know your mind is at a peaceful state. And then we're going to take it one step further. I got a little bit of time. I want you to visualize turning to your right. And you're going to walk around slowly around this particular lake to get to the tree. And if you're noticing while you're walking, the images or the reflection will start to change in depth as you change your perspective. And if you're able to visualize that, what would it look like as I walk around? That's another level to show how adept you are at tapping into your own inner power. And then from there, I'm not going to go too deep with that one. However, and this is another one as well. If that is a difficult one for you, I want you to visualize this. While you're in the state, you're doing your breathing to a point where your body starts to take over. You've already addressed the issues of the day with your mind. You had, okay, thank you. You might be saying to yourself, now this is boring. I got so many things to do. I think Desperate Housewives is on. What time is it? No. This is where the party is at right here. And so what I want you to do is visualize, I would say, there's a movie called The Bee movie. Just imagine there's a bee that's flying around. And from this perspective of the bee, just imagine like it has a little camera on the bee cam. And as that bee flies around, imagine that bee landing on your left big toe. Well, if you had the perspective, if you was Ant-Man and you was able to miniaturize yourself and sit on your left big toe, what would you see? And then when you're in that state, how is your left big toe? How is it feeling right now? Do you have socks against your toe? Is it kind of tight up against your what's it called, follicle? Is your toe cold? Is it warm? How's your big toe doing right now? You might say, that sounds silly. Who cares about a big toe? Oh, your big toe is very, very important. Why? Because that's the lowest extremity of your body. Whenever the blood circulates, it goes to your toe and it has to come back up and circulate through your heart. And so scientists and doctors would tell you, every now and then, you might have to do a little pump, like pump your big toe up. Almost like one of those basketball sneakers you have to pump. Allow that blood flow. Like I said, constipation causes your systems to break down. Constipations of your breathing, constipation of your blood, constipation of any of your systems will cause disease. And so now we're talking about your toe here. So pump your toe up. Allow that blood flow into your toe. Show some love to your toe. Visualize how your toe is feeling. Visualize a white light. I'm getting a little bit advanced here, then I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Visualize a white light. If you want to use this as an example, when's the last time you looked at the sun? I know the sun is bright, but if you peek at the sun and you close your eyes, you see those little 6 little rays that emanate from the sun. We're going to that at another time. Imagine this beautiful, peaceful light, embracing light, loving light. That light or ball of light, ray of light, flashlight, a ball of white, don't have to be light, anything of that nature. Imagine a circle of light on your left big toe, sitting there, bringing love, bringing energy to that particular toe. And slowly imagine that white light then transferring from your left big toe to your left knee. And we're going to speed this up for the sake of time. But even that process may take 4 or 5 minutes. You want to do it right. Slowly visualize. Not no jumping from here to there. Slowly visualize that white light coming from your big toe to your heel, coming up your calf, coming up your ankle, or the ankle then your calf, coming to your knee, and then coming to your hip. Imagine that beautiful light. And you can imagine this from a different perspective as well. This really helps. You can imagine it from the perspective of someone outside yourself looking at this white light moving. You can imagine it like inside of your body. You can imagine in a myriad of ways or even all of the ways that this takes place. And then you imagine that white light of energy slowly coming to your heart and filling your heart with love, filling your heart with light, filling your heart with conscious energy. That is an exercise for individuals to do to get the full benefit of the beauty of who you are. You, like I said, you didn't need anything. You didn't need any sensitive equipment. You didn't need a prayer mat or a special type of talisman or jewelry or things of that nature. You definitely don't need anyone else. There's things you could do in your own personal space to help bring homeostasis, aka peace, balance, to your particular body. This is my time. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, this is Ptah Shakur. This is called the ABCs of Breath Work. I'm going into some more of these ideas. You can go on my YouTube channel, Ptah Shakur, at YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. See the plethora of information that I have out there. So as I close, I tell everyone, find that peace within. When you find that peace within, whether it is pulling away from distractive individuals, I tell youth that I interact with, show me the 5 closest people in your life, and I will read your future. So if you do not have someone on your success team, find someone. Meaning that you might find that you're noticing repeating numbers, you're having ring in your ears, precognition. You're starting to understand what Jesus said, greater work shall you do, and understand that Christ consciousness is happening right now. And in fact, activating within. You may change the way that you eat, change the music that you listen to. You're looking to go into more vegetarian. You might even go into more juices, more fruit juices and vegetables, things that actually hold more light than this dead meat, this cannibalism that we're doing right now. We want to bring things that actually have life into our body. You might want to do that. And sea moss, shilligate. You start to investigate more of these type of mindsets. And you may have people in your success team, in your unsuccess team, that say, "What are you doing? What is that? You want to go out for walks? You're talking about nature. You want to do yoga. You want to breathology. You want to eat more sea moss and things of that nature." Every tub sits on its own bottom. Trust and believe. You got to put your cross on your back and go your way. You will find your community. You will find love. You will find people that will help you support. I promise you. You will find people that help support you in the area that you're going. Remember, this is the separation time. Not that one was in the field, one was in the bed. This is the great separation that we're experiencing right now. This is the great and dreadful day of the Lord, like I said before. For those that are looking to go into the great, check me out, like I said, Ptah Shakur. Once you find out heaven on earth within, I'm asking you, give a small dollop, a thimbleful, a drop. Share that love, share that knowledge with individuals in your periphery, particularly youth. If you're above the age 40, you got something to share with these youth. Even if you tell them how to tie the shoe, they'll remember those type of things. We definitely have an aspect. Let's all do what we have to do. Flip all these cards over. Let's bring this heaven on earth. Nobody's coming for us. We got to do this ourselves. This is Ptah Shakur. Love and light to you all.